Hey, how's it going, everyone? Happy Sunday. Hope everyone's been having a kick-ass weekend. Just as you can see in my vehicle, just left my final drill day in the Navy Reserves. Definitely not the last time I'll ever put on a uniform, for sure. Now it's time for me just to enjoy some time with the family and pick and choose what events I can participate in with the Navy, because once a chief, always a chief, right? So anyways, during our at the end of every drill weekend, we always have what we call quarters. Just if you don't know what that is, it's assembly of the entire drill center. All the sailors there, we get together, we give out awards, shake hands, recognize sailors for their accomplishments, and obviously, since this is my last drill weekend, got a nice parting gift from my fellow Chief Petty Officers, a nice memento to remember my time here in Charleston by. But they asked me to say a few words at the end of the day here, and I excuse me, been putting a lot of thought into what I would say, and was wondering, hey, would I get choked up or whatever? But the first thing that popped into my mind is like, hey, what were the things that made me successful in the Navy? How can I leave people with some words of advice to help them also have a long and successful military career? And the first key that I think that made me successful in the military is that it was never about me. I always focused on helping other people. I always tried to pass on my knowledge. I tried not to be the one to have the tribal knowledge and not be that single point of failure. So that's something that not only that will work in the military, but also on the outside. I mean, we could do this in our families, we can do this in our jobs, we can do this in our communities, any number of organizations that you might be a member of. Don't be that sole source of or single point of failure. Pass on your knowledge, pass on your experience, make yourself obsolete so you can move on to greater things. Because if you make yourself almost indispensable, then you'll never be able to move on. You'll never be able to progress. You'll never be able to grow. So that was the first key that I left with the sailors, is to never make it about you, make it about others. And the second key that I gave them to my successful military career was to focus on the fundamentals and not get too, we always talk about attention to detail in the military, but to focus on those vital few fundamental things that you need to do to, excuse me, still getting over a cold here and a little bit of allergies. But anyways, to take advantage of every opportunity that you have, to keep your record straight, to make sure that the basic things that you have to do to be a United States sailor, focus on being extremely good at doing those, because that goes back to my first key, is make everyone else around you smarter, better, faster. If you are extremely good at those fundamentals, then you can focus your attention on other people and making everyone around you better. And again, that applies to not only the military, but to civilians as well. If and you could even look at sports, like LeBron James, Tom Brady, like all of those superstars. They're not superstars because they can pull off the fancy moves. Well, yes, they can do those, but the reason they can do those is because they are extremely well at those fundamentals. Tom Brady's great with his footwork. He's great at going through his reads. Those are basic things that a quarterback should do and should do extremely well. And if you want to be a superstar at what you do, you need to do those basic things extremely, extremely, extremely well. I'm taking a little bit of time off this week to kind of reflect, and one thing that I think I need to do is to simplify my life a little bit more, to apply that key piece of advice that I learned in the military to my personal life as well. So I'm not telling you guys to do this And it's not like I'm perfect at any one of these things either, but if you could do those two things, make everyone else around you better, and be extremely good at executing your fundamentals, you'll undoubtedly will be successful in whatever endeavor that you apply those to. All right, guys, appreciate you tuning in. I'm about to hack up a lung here, trying to keep it together, but appreciate everyone tuning in. If these topics are of interest to you, I encourage you to go over to our Facebook group and join that. I made it simple, kenyaziska.com/group. Take you right to the page. Don't even have to search in Facebook for it. And if that's not quite enough, if you want to learn a little bit more, want to discuss this with me in depth, one thing I'm doing here in 2019 is offering people an opportunity to schedule a 30-minute free call with me, just to have a quick strategy session, and give you some advice. Like I said, I like making other people around me better, and that's one thing that I would like to do for you. Just go to kenyaziska.com/call and take you right to my calendar. All right, guys, I'm about out of here. My voice is about to break down here, but appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching the replay, make sure you let me know that you caught it as well. All right, guys, take care.